afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you on our show Race Previews, where we will go through the race cards of race meeting 7, which will be held on Sunday, 13th April 2023. And as usual, our racing consultant Devon Habib by my side to help you with your analysis. Hi Devon,
Hi,
how are
Ria.
you?
I'm good.
Glad to see you again.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So I'd like to remind our viewers that the falls race are at 4.50 meters. Without wasting any more time, we start with race 1, the José Thérèse Jazz Memorial Cup with 7 runners, which will be run over 1400 meters, 0 to 15. Number 1, Digital Fortress. Number 2, Perfect Pursuit. Number 3, Best Apostle. Number 4, the Gypsy King. Number 5, Sir Capers. Number 6, Kali's Champ. And number 7, Special Force. Devon, you like number 4, the Gypsy King, for the win, last time a winner.
Yeah, look, I don't know if you're following the pattern lately, but most of the time the first horses that win has something to do related with Peaky Blinders and the Gypsy King, hence I'm dressed similar to him today. So yeah, I'm going to tip the Gypsy King to win. First race, like big omen. So I think, yeah, he's the right horse in the race. He's got the right form. He's in a good space, and yeah, I think he's definitely the one that they all have to beat. For me, that's definitely the horse. And obviously, there is other horses in the race that have chances, but he's beaten this field. And I do think Bell's Apostle, let's draw a line through his last run. Something went wrong there, and
this time he's got the first draw.
He's got the first draw, and I think he's the horse with the form, you know. So, I mean, you can see the ratio where he won last time. This week, bouncing back to the Gypsy King. This horse was also detached at the back of the field, Bell's Apostle, with the orange and blue, but the Gypsy King's in front. And, yeah, he's ridden to perfection in this race, and he won a really good race that day. So, I think one to definitely watch out on.
So we were talking about Best Apostle from Shirish Narang stable, drawn first in the stall. This horse, we should forget his first outing.
You can see in the race where he ran last, the jockey pulled him out the race. I think something must have gone wrong there. So if they fix that problem, then he's definitely a major runner. I mean, he's got good form prior to that.
And number 6, Kali's Champ from Ramdin stable. This time he's like running again on 1400 meters, 0 to 15, draw number 6 in the stalls.
Yeah, look, I'm also drawing a line to the last run last time. Something went wrong as well, but prior to that his form was really strong, and he was looking really well. So it looked like he was going to win very soon. So I'm going to tip him to run 3rd. And Special Force has to be mentioned because, I mean, he ran a massive race last time.
With the same jockey on board this time.
Same jockey, I think he's got a massive chance again. Got a low weight, so yeah, he's definitely a big runner.
But he did bleed after that race.
Yeah, look, there is negatives with the horse, and he's a problem horse. So I think you got to be cautious. That's why I'm making the Gypsy King the right horse in the race.
But with 54.5 kg, he's one to put in the notebook. So number 4, the Gypsy King for the win and for the placings. Number 3, Best Apostle. Number 6, Kali's Champ. And number 7, Special Force.
That's correct.
We'll now move on to race 2, La Fête du Travail Cup, which will be run over 1500 meters, 0 to 26, with 5 runners. Number 1, Béni des Dieux. Number 2, Poetic License, but the horse has been scratched this morning. Number 3, Celestial Magma. Number 4, Bellagio King. And number 5, Enigma Code. Celestial Magma. Sorry, so you put number 1, Béni des Dieux, for the win.
Yeah, look, it's a pity because my first selection was Poetic License. He won a really good race last time, so I did tip him to win. So we have to draw a line through it now, obviously, because it's been scratched, and go to the horse that I tipped to run 2nd, which would be Béni des Dieux. I think he's a nice horse, and he needed that run last time. So yeah, definitely a big runner.
And number 4, Celestial. Sorry, number 4, Bellagio King. I don't know why I keep saying Celestial Magma. Number
Clearly,
4,
you're big on Celestial Magma in this race. I mean, you're trying to give us hints there or something.
Number 4, Bellagio King with Deneuille on board. Draw number 4 in the stalls. His first outing was pretty satisfactory.
Yeah, look, he ran a really good race behind Poetic License, and I think Poetic License is a very progressive sort, so I'm going to tip him to run second. He is a nice horse with decent form, and he's in the right space at the moment. He's working extremely well, so I'm definitely giving him a chance. And look, we're going to bounce onto yours now that you've going crazy
Celestial
about.
Magma.
Celestial Magma is definitely a big runner. But I think he runs in patterns. If you look at it, he wins, then he runs third, then he wins, then he runs sixth, then he wins.
Yes, but
So,
he
yeah.
has been kept in good condition now by the stable.
I think he's got a massive chance, but it's going to be quite hard to beat Benediju, in my opinion. I think Benediju is a top horse, drawn one, got a decent weight on his back. I'm big on that fan.
And number 5, Enigma Code with Derek David on board.
Look, it's a bit too short for him still. I think if he goes over 1600, he'll be a bigger runner. 1800 is even better. So I think he's a nice horse. I do like him, but I think if he was a little bit further, I think it's just a touch too short for him.
So number 1, Béni des Dieux for the win and for the placings. Number 4, Bellagio King. Number 3, Celestial Magma. And number 5, Enigma Code. Race number 3, Les Travailleurs de l'île Maurice Cup, which will be run over 1400 meters, benchmark 31. Number 1, Divergent. Number 2, On Force. Number 3, Tomorrow's Vision. Number 4, Bella Fiorino. And number 5, Serious Business. This has been noted that these are all new horses here who have never run in Mauritius.
Yeah, look, it's a new new horses in this race.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to see that we're getting some new stock in and that the horses are running. I do think that it's going to be a very hard race to analyze because we don't have any form and how the horses run in Mauritius. But if we go in on the work, I mean, we can watch this horse work. It's very serious business.
Number 5.
This is the horse that I'm
With
fancying quite
Nabil
strong.
Sheikh Bachamia on board
Yeah,
on
he's
Sunday.
in this barrier trial he worked with a horse called Straight, and I think Straight's a really good horse, so he's definitely got a massive chance. He's in front now with the yellow colours.
This was his work of the 28th of March.
And you can see he's working on the sand though, but he's taking the track and he's getting it in, so I think he's got a bit of experience, and he has the home straight. I mean, the jockey's posing and
He's not making any effort.
he's working alongside a top horse
Yeah.
like Straight. I mean, and Straight came out and ran a really good run, ran second the next start, so yeah, I think I'll make him one of my best bets on the card.
Followed by number 2, Armed Force, round in stable, draw number 1 in the stables.
You got to touch on this horse's form. I mean, it's running behind Cousin Casey. Cousin Casey's favourite for the Devon July.
Ah, okay.
And that's a massive run, you know. So if he brings that run 6 lengths behind the July favourite in South Africa, I think he'll win quite easily, in my opinion. But then if you're going on other horses' forms like Tomorrow's Vision, who's run behind Thunderstruck, Group 1 winner, Mercantil, Group 1 placed, Toffa's nice horse, beat horse called Global Approach, who came out and won. So I think that's definitely a big run. And then there's another horse called Bella Fiorino, who's run behind a horse like Kwasi For Sure. Kwasi For Sure is now 16 to 1, big candidate for the Devon July. He's come out and won
And
his
he won
last
his
start.
2-barrier trial here.
And he's doing extremely well. So it's a really open race. I mean, even Divergence, he's run behind Irish Tractor, ran in the Premier's Champions Challenge at the Summer Cup. Sabina's Progeny, big runners, you know what I mean? These horses are like really good horses in South Africa. So they're only running 5 lengths off them, 7 lengths off them. It's hard to analyze, you know. I mean, very difficult to analyze horses in this open contest. But for me, I think On Work, Serious Business looks like a really good horse. He's had a nice break.
I agree with you, yeah.
And I think he's the one that they all have to watch out for. And then for second, I'm going to tip Armed Force because of his run behind Cousin Casey. And then for third, Tomorrow's Vision, and fourth Bella Farina. But I mean, maybe you can help us analyze. You've seen some work, and what do you
I like serious
assess?
business as well, as he has a lot of works. He has been working pretty good at track work, but I like this Tomorrow's Vision also. This horse, I've seen him, and like his last win also over 1600 meters. I think he has got enough of work, so he's one to follow in this race also.
100%. So I think
Nice period trial.
I think it's going to be very difficult to like stick your neck out and say yes, but I'm going to take that chance and tip Serious Business as a yes for me.
So number 5, Serious Business for the win and for the placings. Number 2, On Force. Number 3, Tomorrow's Vision. And number 4, Bella Fiorino. Moving on to race 4, la traditionnelle célébration du 1er mai Cup, race which will be run over 1600 meters, benchmark 46, with number 1, Prince Alf, number 2, Royal Italian, number 3, High Key, number 4, Paddington's Luck, and number 5, Puget Sound. So, Devon, number 2, Royal Italian for the win.
Yeah, I think that's a value bet for the day. Really nice horse. He's been stepped up now to the 1600. We can watch his previous run, how he was running on. He was running a massive race where he ran 4th behind Juniper Lane. We're going to cross over to that now, and we can see he's got the black and white colours at the back of the field. And he turns for home quite far off them, and he makes up massive ground to run 4 lengths behind a really good horse of Juniper Lane. So I think he's a horse that we'll have to watch, and I did tip him to win last time, so I'm going to follow up on that
I
tip.
think he'd like this 1600 meters.
I mean, you can see the amount of ground that he makes up in that wet going, so yeah, he enjoyed it, and I think he's going to enjoy the step up to 1600, and you can see, look, he's coming. So another 300 meters, I think he'd have won that race. So I'm going to tip him to win, and my value bet for the day, and I think he's going to win quite well, in my opinion.
Followed by number 4, Paddington's Luck, Janis Taka on board. This horse also second place on his first outing. He's now moving up in distance 1600 meters and same benchmark.
Yeah, look, there was a lot of money for this horse last time. Serious amounts of money came for him, from like 20 to 1 into like 4, 5 to 1. So I think he's definitely a nice horse, and I mean, he ran a massive race last time, so I think he's one that we all have to watch out for. Normally they won too early when they have a big bet like that, so I think he's one that we all have to keep an eye on. I think he's the biggest danger to Royal Italian. And then for second, for third, Prince Alf. We got to ignore his last run. He ran detached from the field, and then his penultimate form was really good, so I think he's one that we'll have to keep an eye on as well.
And to complete the quartet, number 3, Heike, Akasha Charles on board, draw number 5 in the stalls. This will be his first outing. Do you think the 1600 meters is good for his stall?
Yeah, look, I think the 1600 is going to be perfect for him, because, I mean, if you go back to, 2 runs ago where he ran behind Royal Italian, I like Royal Italian, so I've got to like him. He was very unlucky that day. He got done on the rail. And Royal Italian beat that horse Pop Archon a short, like just beat him. You know, he came late on to beat him, and he didn't look like he could do anything that day. But Haki was unlucky. He really was. He got done badly on the rail. So I think he's a massive runner as well. So I would factor him into all bets. I wouldn't leave him out. He's a bit of an outsider for this race.
So I'd remind our viewers, number 2, Royal Italian for the win, and for the placings, number 4, Paddington's Luck, number 1, Prince Alf, and number 3, High Key. Race number 5, le muguet, symbole de la Fête du Travail Cup, 1500 meters, benchmark 36. Horse number 1, Chosen Way, number 2, Maneteren, number 3, One Day OD1, number 4, Straight, and number 5, General Jackson. One Day or Day 1 for the win, Devon.
Yeah, look, I'm a big fan of this horse, One Day or Day 1. I mean, he got beat by a really good horse last time. And if you follow the patterns, I'm also a pattern person. This horse won, then ran 4th, and he won.
He's moving up in class this time.
Yeah, he won, he ran 4th, he won, he ran 2nd. I think it's time for him to win today. So I think this is definitely the race for him to win. And I do fancy him. And he's a big runner. I know he's going up in class, but Instinctive Power is a classy sort, so I think Instinctive Power is going to go through the divisions. I think he's going to go through the divisions as well. I'm a big fan of him. I think he'll win and win quite well. Yeah, he's one of my top selections on the day. You can watch his last run where he ran behind Instinctive Power. He ran a really good race. Instinctive Power's in front and he's third. And he looked like he was going to do something, and he came, I mean, towards the end. Instinctive Power was just too strong for him that day, but you can see he's making up some good ground there. And yeah, he might have needed that run. So I think this one will definitely bring him on, and he'll be cherry ripe come race day.
Followed by number 4, Straight, a horse which you like well also, which will be ridden by Alvin Roy, first draw.
Yeah, look, Straight's always a honest and hard knocker. I mean, he ran second his last 2 starts, and he ran behind a horse like Flowerscape, but he was just unlucky that day. He was working himself up before the race meeting, very anxious, very nervous to get onto the track. So I think he is one that we all have to watch out for. He's the hardest horse in the race, and definitely the one that they all have to beat. So I think we have to watch out for him. He's multiple winners, so I mean, he's taking on a horse that's just going through the division. So it's going to be tactical, and I think with that draw one, he is a big runner. I wouldn't scrap him out the race, and I wouldn't say he can't win. I wouldn't be surprised to see him winning either.
And what about Chosen Way, a horse which Stéphane Deneuilleux knows well? He won twice with this horse, and now dropping down in benchmark 36 from 41.
Yeah, look, take his last 3 runs
away.
away.
Well at track work, this horse.
His last 3 runs you can eliminate, and look at his form before that, where he ran behind Dropkick. Then he beat Dropkick, he beat Canary Island. Canary Island's a really good horse.
Yeah.
$1 Million Man was running in the Maiden Cups. It's Star of Zeus, Haki, Flowerscape, these are all top horses that he's beaten, you know. So, yes, he hasn't run in a while. He might need the run, and hence why I'm not tipping him to win. But I think next time he's the one that we'll have to watch out for. He's got a good draw. I think he's definitely a nice horse going forward, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him run in a big race. I wouldn't expect him to win, but I think he'll run a nice race.
And finally, number 2, Manette Run, third in the stores, Akash Ocharoz on board. This horse staying on 1500 meters, quite a consistent one.
Yeah, look, when he won that start in the first race, when he beat Snowy Mountain that time, no, that was the last race of the day that day, and yeah, he won a really good race that day. And look, Snowy Mountain is a nice horse, so I think he is a big runner. I just think he might need this as well, and I would maybe want to see him running on to the back end of quartets. I don't know if he's gonna win, but I think he'll be running on, and he'll run like a really good race as well.
So it's number 3, One Day or Day One for the win for Devon, and number 4, number 1, and number 2, Manette Run for the placings.
That's correct.
We'll now move on to race 6. La fête du travail du 1er mai 1950 Souvenir Cup, 1400 meters, benchmark 56 with 7 runners. Number 1, Arizona Silk. Number 2, Luna Vacation. Number 3, Stop All the Clocks. Number 4, Courtroom Magic. Number 5, Toro Bravo. Number 6, Battle of Alesia. And number 7, Global Glory. So, Luna Vacation for the win, Devon.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm also on that one. I like Lunification very strong. I think he beat a really good horse last time called Lemon Drop Shot. I do fancy that horse as well. I mean, he's working extremely well, and he's in a really good space. So I think this is one that we'll have to watch out for. I mean, we can watch his work. Yeah, he's absolutely flying. So I think he's a really nice horse, and I wouldn't be surprised to see this horse win quite well. And the jockey wasn't too hard on him.
Do you think he might need this run?
I don't think he'll need the run. Even though he hasn't run for a few months, I think he'll win. I think he'll win this race quite easily. I'm very confident in him.
Followed by last time winner Coach Room Magic, Stefan Denouillot this time on board, draw number 1 in the stalls. I think he has been kept in good condition.
Yeah, and he won a really good race last time.
Yes.
He came from off them, and he won a decent race, you know. So Bernard rode a very tactical race, and I think yeah, he's definitely the biggest danger to Lunification. It's a very good field. It's a nice field. There's a lot of horses, so it's nice to see that the horses are coming in and we're getting nice races that have few runners. And yeah, I think he's definitely the one that everyone will be watching on race day. I think this is probably going to start favourite. Lunification's a nice price of like 10, 12 to 1. He's a big value for me, and I think Courtroom Magic, getting back to him, he's definitely a horse that we all have to watch out for. I think I wouldn't be surprised to see him winning, but I don't know if he's going to beat Lunification on the day. I think Lunification is just a really good horse.
And number 6, Battle of Alija, trained mainly at Petit Gamin. He's drawn number 2, Devon Habib on board, and this horse has run against some good, pretty good horses. Emerald Bend, Emblem of Hope, Special Blend as well.
Yeah, look, and his last run was decent, but it also hasn't run for a while as well. They're all coming off a lengthy layoff, so I wouldn't factor in. I think it's just which horse is ready on the day, you know. Battle of Elysia is working well, and he's in a good space. So, I mean, Dominic's horses are in good form. So we can't ignore that. And for 4th, number 7, Global Glory. I like Illicit Kiss's horse. I think he's probably one of the better horses in Mauritius, and over 1450 to get beat 3 lengths to Illicit Kiss, you've got to be something decent. And he ran just behind him, so I think he's a big runner because of the distance. He gets the distance, you know. So I think this is one that we'll have to factor in for the back end of quartets.
So number 2, Lunification for the win and for the placings. Number 4, Courtroom Magic. Number 6, Battle of Alija, and number 7, Global Glory. Race number 7, the People's Turf PSC Employees Cup, of which will be run over 990 meters. Group 3, the main race of the day, with only 3 horses. Number 1, Emblem of Hope. Number 2, Winter Chill, and number 3, Etched in Blue. So I think Emblem of Hope, you agree with me?
I don't know if I agree
should
with
agree with you.
I don't think. I know this was one. I'm very confident. Emblem of Hope, Bank of the Day, Bank of the Century, Bank of the Millennium. This is the right horse in the race. Yeah, I think in 210 years there hasn't been a banker this strong, in my opinion. So,
Okay.
yeah, I don't even want to talk about the other 2. I think
He's too strong
he's
for
race
the
over,
others,
yeah.
I think.
It's going to be very, very hard to beat him. Extremely difficult to beat this horse. He's drawn 1, which I don't think it makes much of a difference. And yeah, he's just going to sit, and I don't think he'll move. I think he'll sit the whole way. I don't think he'll even get any like emotion on this horse. He'll just sit and pose and take photos and become a celebrity. And yeah, it's gonna be an easy win for him. Look, obviously, if we have to analyze the next 2 horses, I think Etched in Blue will obviously maybe run 2nd. He's probably got the better form out of the rest. And then Winter Chill, he won the barrier trial, the mock race at Peter Gamin, and I think he's obviously got a chance, but how do we...
In this field, I think it's difficult.
Maybe I'll run 3rd.
Exactly. So number 1, Emblem of Hope for the win. And as Devon said, Etched in Blue, 2nd, and 3rd, Winter Chill.
Yeah.
We now move on to race 8, the Sir Hilary Blood Memorial Cup, with 5 runners. Number 1, Sid's Liaison. Number 2, Instinctive Power. Number 3, Kalgoorlie. Number 4, Noble Trip. And number 5, On a High Note. This race will be run over 1450 meters in benchmark 31. Number 2, Devon, Instinctive Power, impressive win last time. Same jockey on board, benchmark 31. And what do you have to say about this horse?
I haven't stopped speaking about him the whole day. I don't think I need to say much more when it came to the
You
race.
need to tell our viewers.
I mean, yes, you can watch his last run and see how he won, and then I can analyze his form from there. I think it's very impressive. He's in front with Derek and with the purple and blue colors, or purple and red colors, and yeah, Derek hits him once, twice, and he needs to change his stick because he hangs in a bit and puts him to sleep. There's no race. He just says, good night, sweetheart. Yeah, race over. I think he'll do the same. I think all the money that you make on Emblem of Hope, you can put onto Instinctive Power. I think that's the double for the day. He's my second best bet on the day, and I think, yeah, he's also it's going to go straight through to the top, and yeah, I don't think they're going to beat him. It's going to be very hard to beat him.
And followed by number 4, a Noble Trip, Jamia Ali Hussein on board, draw number 2 in the stalls. This horse will be at his second outing. Last time he took the third place in benchmark 31 and staying in same benchmark, only moving up in distance at 1450 meters.
Yeah, look, he looked really well last time, and I think that run might have brought him on heavily. So I think he's probably the biggest danger to Instinctive Power. But yeah, it's going to be hard for him to win the race. I think he'll definitely run into second or third, in my opinion.
And number 1, Sitzleisen, draw number 3 in the stores, 62 kgs, Bernard Federer on board. He ran a nice race on his first outing behind Pop Icon.
Yeah, and he's a very classy sort, so I think he'll be a nice horse in the race. His penultimate start he beat Straight, so I mean Straight's a nice horse as well. So I think we got to factor him in. I think he'll run into the back end. Maybe third or fourth, but yeah, I think he's definitely one that we'll have to watch out for.
And finally, number 3, Carl Gurlich from Samraj Mahadia's stable, Stefan Tenuyo on board. This is his second ride in that stable. Last time I think he did not run up to expectations, this horse.
Yeah, look, he didn't run the best race last time, and I see that they've taken a change and put a new jockey on, so I think maybe... I don't think Tucker did anything wrong. I just don't think the horse ran a really good race.
Maybe he needed that run last time.
He probably needed it, and I think he might need it again. But yeah, for me, he'll be running into the back end. I don't think he can beat Instinctive Power on Noble Trip for me.
And what is your opinion about number 5 on a high note?
Look, he is a nice horse, but I know he's a bleeder, and I know he's got problems. So I don't like to really go on horses that bleed so much, so I'm gonna like scrap him for this one. Yeah,
okay.
I'm not gonna tip him for this meeting.
So number 2, Instinctive
But
Power.
I know Raja Rowan's your favorite jockey, so you probably like this horse. Maybe it's your selection.
I don't like the horse but the jockey, but I don't think it's his good chance.
Oh, okay.
Number 2, Instinctive Power for the win and for the placings. Number 4, Noble Trip. Number 1, Sitzleisen. And number 3, Carl Gurlich. We'll now go on to the 9th and last race, the General Workers Federation 1971 Cup, which will be run over 1600 meters, 0 to 20 with 6 runners. Number 1, Gun Traveling. Number 2, Into the Mystic. Number 3, Carolina Reaper. Number 4, Chief Rafif. And number 5, Farsi. And number 6, Supreme Elevation. Into the Mystic, this time you think he can win?
Yeah, look, I think it's between the two horses. I was struggling quite hard to make a decision here, and I was very like, yes, no, yes, no. I don't know, how can I say it, like, it's up Into the Mystic to win, but I think his biggest danger is number 1, Gone Traveling. And that's my take on this race. I mean, I think Into the Mystic's in a good space, working extremely well, running well. It's third run for the season, so he's going to be cherry ripe, extremely fit. But my value in the race is definitely Gone Traveling. I mean, we can watch his penultimate story, his last run where he ran. He was very badly hampered at the back of the field with the red and yellow colours. When they turned for home, I think the jockey even got like a 6-week or 7-week suspension. You can see, like, he was really bumped badly, and it was difficult for him to make it run after that. He almost came down there, you can see. So, I mean, after running and getting done that badly, and you can't expect the horse to run on. So I think just draw a line through that, and let's give him another chance. I mean, his form before that was really strong.
And he'll have a claimer, Alvin Your Boy, 1.5 kg.
So I'm going to tip him. I'm going to tip both of them. I'm going to say number 2 to win, number 1 to run second, and see from there. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the form's the other way around, if it runs 1-2, you know. It's a very close selection for me.
And for the third place, Fassi maybe with Derek David on board. Last time, 90 meters was maybe too sharp for this horse.
Oh, look, the step up in distance is definitely going to suit him, and I think he's going to run a massive race. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him winning because of that big step up in distance. And he ran a good race last time, and his best run was over 1500. So I think this extra 600 meters is going to suit this horse down the alley. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him running a massive race. And for fourth, we've got to tip this horse Chief Rafif. He's done absolutely nothing wrong. I mean, his form is really good. He's still a maiden though, and I think once he breaks the ice, he's going to be a nice horse going forward.
I think the 1600 meters might do him well.
100%. He's looking for the extra, and he's definitely going to suit it.
The dark horse of the race.
100%.
So number 2 into the Mystic for the win, followed by number 1 Gun Travelin, number 5 Fassi, and number 4 Chief Rafif for the placings. I'll ask you now, Devon, your best bet of the day.
Yeah, so my best bet obviously comes up in race 7. Bet of the millennium, if you want to call it that. Number 1, Emblem of Hope. And then number 2 in race 8, Instinctive Power, will also be my second best bet of the day. And then value bets, if you want to go on my value bets, I think race 4, number 2, Royal Italian. And race 6, number 2, Lunification.
Okay.
And we've also got to mention this Gone Travelling. I think he's a value bet as well. It was very unlucky last time.
So I hope the viewers noted well your best and value bets.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let's hope we tip 9 out of 9.
Yeah. Big thanks to you, Devon, for your presence on our show and your guidance as usual.
It's only a pleasure, and yeah, I'd like to thank everyone behind the scenes, the media team, the studio team, and yeah, everyone going forward. And let's we have good racing come Saturday, Sunday. It's a nice double header for us, and yeah, I'm excited for the meeting going forward.
So I'd like to thank you ladies and gentlemen for watching race previews as usual, and I will not end this show without making a special mention to our wonderful technical and production team, hoping to see you at PTP Champ de Mos tomorrow for a great racing day. Till then, take care, bye bye.